Hey guys, welcome to another video, and Conan Exiles has arrived to much hype, and after having played it for a couple of days, I thought I'd put together a getting started guide. This is for people who haven't played the game, thinking about it, or have been in for a couple of hours and still got questions. It's not for those experienced players, it covers all the basic stuff. So let's get going. The opening menu has a range of options. Some of these are going to become more relevant later on. But you've got your settings where you can adjust obviously your graphics, which is important. You've got your play online where you've got access to maybe what is the core of the game. Lots of servers. It's a multiplayer game really where you have to battle other players. And you've got your single player game, which is where you host your own server and you can set the limit number of players, passwords and such. You can just play on your own against the NPCs in game. It's great to look at the settings because it's the server settings that change everything in game, and here you can change the level of progression, how long the day and night is, and you can do that all. It's there for you to change, and so each server will react differently to the level of harvesting, to how quickly you gain XP. I've upped a few here so that I can play around and I really have a look at the building within game and player progression, the sorts of things that become available. So I've played around with my own server in this example, but there are lots of options there that you can play around with, and it's worth having a look through each menu just to sort of check what is available, and also when you join a server. Now on the top left hand corner you've got health, stamina, water, food, XP and weight, how much you're carrying. To drink you've just got to stand in some water like that and hold down the E button. The E button is what you use to interact with everything, and you can see here I'm harvesting in bushes. This is a good way of getting food very quickly. Now if your server's on low settings you'll only get one insect, but here you can see I'm harvesting a fair few insects and I'll eat those quickly, and that will keep my food levels up. All you've got to do is click on them and select use. You can put them in the taskbar at the bottom and press the relevant number, but this is an easy way of doing it. This HUD is set up with your inventory on the left, your character in the middle, and then your crafting on the right. If you select a crafting recipe by clicking on it, what will happen is it will show you what you need to craft it, and if you've got that in your inventory then you can go ahead and do so. In the center you've got your attributes. Here you'll be alerted when you level up. This will give you points to add to your stats. The description for each stat can be seen when you hover over them with your mouse. You can also learn new crafting recipes. A range of these become available as you gain levels, and you can have a look at which ones are available to learn by untabbing the little circles at the top. And there's a lot, but there'll be more, I'm very sure of that. Another thing to look out for is in the distance there you can see a crocodile. So there are areas where certain animals spawn on the map, and they stay spawning in those zones. They don't randomize to other areas. It seems like we have particular animals for particular parts of the map, which is great. Now, you've got to steer clear of these predators in the early stages, and crocodiles are an easy one to fall foul of. So if one does come at you, don't attack it. Just move off, run, and swimming is a good way of avoiding them. Now, if you want to level up fairly quickly, at the moment, killing things like deer is a great way of doing it. Although they're quite tricky in the early stages. You don't do a lot of damage. You haven't allocated a lot of points to your character as yet. You've got to keep chasing them, and eventually you will kill them. They do slow down and stop. There's a night-day cycle on most servers. You can change that if you want to. And the main focus initially is to harvest stone using the pickaxe. In fact, it's the pick that you start with, and you have to use it to harvest wood. Later on, you get the hatchet, which harvests wood a lot more quickly. And these are your basic building blocks that you use for lots of structures. Now, you can craft your basic range of stuff from your inventory, but you also can do more advanced crafting. Now, you have to build stations for that, like the carpentry bench, the armory, the furnaces, and that allows you to build more advanced equipment and structures, but that comes a little bit later. Now, combat is fairly primitive at this stage. I know they're going to be adding more, but one of the first things you can craft is the stone sword, which you can see here. This is the vanity camera. You can press V to view this angle. Now you can see here there are a number of motions or modes or combat attacks. You've got your single click, which is that one swipe. You've got a double click, which does the two swipes both ways. And then you've got to hold the left click and it will do this longer bash, if you like, which does more damage. You can also attack with your other hand. Killing the easy animals like rabbits and deer and imps in the first instance is a great way of getting your XP up, but it also teaches you about the combat process. Now you might find yourself in a situation where you're looking out into the world and you can see the little fires. These are the non-player characters, the NPCs in game. They have little camps where you can get some goodies. It increases this interaction with the enemy, and you can see as I look down here there's a fire camp right close. I'm going to go and have a look at that now. Now you really should avoid these in the early stages. Usually there are 3 NPCs spawning around a bonfire. That's the bonfire there. They're pretty tough. You can't take them on your own in the early stages, so avoid them if you can. You can see the blood splatting there. This is the combat system. Trying my best, but it doesn't look good. I've lost nearly a third of my health already. I love the way that they speak. There's a sense of character to the game, which I really, really enjoy so far. So I'm running. You can run faster by putting your weapon away, and you can press V to look behind you, see if they're still chasing. But the most effective technique in combat for the early stages is to jump in some water and swim away. That's the thing I recommend. Now building. Building is largely the same as a lot of these survival games. Conan Exiles is a mix of Rust and Ark and all those other elements. Now the building is focused on a square system. At the moment there doesn't seem to be any curved structures. But probably the most innovative feature of the building is you can put foundations into rock, which allows you, as you can see here, to build high and up these towers of stone, and your settlement sprawls along the edge of these massive mounds of rock, which is really cool. I really like it. I love that element to it. This game has proved to be exciting. For those of us who understand survival games, it's good to get in there and you kind of recognize things. Guys, let me know of your experiences in Conan. I hope this helps. It covers some or most of the basics. If it doesn't, then if you've got any questions, add them down below. I've got a little thing next. I hope you don't mind watching. You may not know that I have a Redbubble shop. There are a range of products I've created based on games including DayZ, The Forest, Subnautica, and Ark Survival Evolved. I don't have Twitch subs or channel sponsorship, and I receive a small token amount from my YouTube broadcaster, despite the excellent hardcore guys and girls who support my videos. Any Redbubble sales not only financially support my time and the hours that go into making my videos, but also you receive a quality product at the end of it. The link to the store is below. Even if you don't fancy buying anything, liking products in the store really helps. Thanks guys.